What is going on everyone, Nostalgia925 coming at you with another Explaining Digimon episode. In this video we are going to yet again explore a particular Digimon to our liking and see what it's all about. The one who asked me to make the video is Omega TRICERAMON, who kindly asked me to discuss TRICERAMON as this Digimon is the author's favorite Digimon. Heck, this even explains the name. It was a comment written on my first Digimon World 3 gameplay. To be honest, I don't know what took me to let my little babies, the rookie Digimon, fight an ultimate Digimon as huge as this one. But I'm sure that these gameplays will promise a lot of fun. By the way, doing the gameplays was oh so interesting that I'm most definitely going to continue them. And to make things a little bit spicy, in the next Digimon World 3 gameplay I will play while reading the comments on the first episode and give my opinion on those comments. So if you haven't seen the video yet, I highly recommend that you check it out and write something to get my opinion in the next playthrough. Not to worry, I'll make sure to either link the first gameplay in the description box or in the comment section or in both. Alright, we are going to be discussing TRICERAMON. I hope you'll enjoy this one. Oh guys, I have two things to tell you. First thing, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, considering we are going to explore the Digimon universe with a big passion. And as you've witnessed, all of your comments count and are very dear to me. So as a potential Digimon fan, please make sure to join us. Second thing I'd like to tell you, I'd like to give a special shout out to our dearest Marine Solar, who has become my first Patreon friend. I don't know what to say, Marine. Really a big thank you so much at the bottom of my heart. I'm truly speechless, and I promise I will do my very best to live up to your expectations as a YouTuber and as a Digimon fan. You have my word. I have to say personally that I am very happy to discuss another dinosaur type, because I feel like we haven't really done that a lot. And pay attention, my good friends, there is a difference between a dragon and a dinosaur. In my younger years it was a little bit difficult to make the distinction. A dinosaur is any of various reptiles belonging to the Dinosauria, which is none other than a group of extinct reptiles with the terrestrial carnivorous or herbivorous modes of life. And in the Digimon universe you also have a mixture of dinosaurs who either eat meat or plants. Oh, and the Dinosauria does not make a distinction between the bipedal reptiles or the quadrupedal. A dragon, on the other hand, is none other than a fiction, a legendary serpentine or reptile creature like for example BARONG, who we discussed in the Explaining Hexblamon DIGIVOLUTION line video, or if you want a more specific form like the serpentine form, I would suggest TRICERAMON, who we discussed in the Explaining TRICERAMON DIGIVOLUTION line video. Their dragon aspect is usually referred in their names, who usually end with Dramon, and they are all descendants of Dracomon, the progenitor of all dragon-type Digimon. What bothers me with TRICERAMON is the fact that this one is actually extremely mysterious despite its beauty. The Digimon is of the ultimate level, and by trying to dig a little deeper, I couldn't really find a confirmed rookie or champion form that can be directly attributed to TRICERAMON, aside of a certain, let me say, fan-based theory. We'll go through it first, considering it's basically all we've got. We will discuss the rest in the comment section, and I'll eventually make another video about TRICERAMON if there are some updates. So, well, here is a picture of one who tried to give TRICERAMON a rookie form. It would be called PROCERAMON. Now I can imagine some of you would not be that impressed, especially comparing it to TRICERAMON, but then again, I feel like we should give everyone a chance and at least listen to what they have to offer. Besides, there is two things I need to add. We did the same in the Explaining Armadillomon DIGIVOLUTION line video. Armadillomon's champion form, Ankylomon, who by the way is also a dinosaur, doesn't have an official ultimate nor mega form, so we went through certain fan stuff, which was also extremely interesting. And I'm planning on analyzing some more fan stuff, because seriously, look at for example this design. It looks so impressive. I see a combination of Garurumon but mostly Greymon, and I think that this design looks more than awesome, and it is fan based. It also deserves to be praised, don't you think? I am sure that we can all give those fan-based Digimon our own background story and make them immortal. That is why at some point I will ask you guys to explore the internet along with me to search and find those fan-based Digimon. That way we can all discuss them and help the fandom. Second thing I wanted to tell you. This little orange dinosaur here is in fact a character called TERRA in the Land Before Time animated adventure, and the fan basically says that PROCERAMON should presumably be the Digimon version of this character. And to be honest, aside of the color, the eyelids and the smile, I think that it is not too far-fetched at all, considering that Digimon get their inspiration from so much, may it be historical, mythological or fiction. Now let's go ahead and discuss the background the fan gave to the Digimon version of TERRA. The name would be TRICERAMON, which is in fact a name referring to the Protoceratops, a herbivorous dinosaur of sheep size. Should be about 1.8 meter long or 5 foot 9. The little dinosaur can walk on 2 legs but usually prefers 4. It has an above average strength, but its strongest attribute is its hardened body's defense, even though that might be the reason why it is rather slow. I have to say that, considering the status and story of TRICERAMON, there is certainly a sense behind ProCeramon's story, because TRICERAMON is a Digimon who is bipedal, and we have seen similar examples of quadrupedal Digimon who ended up becoming bipedal once they digivolved. Think of Garurumon, who digivolved to WARGREYMON. Both Digimon we, by the way, discussed in the Explaining Gabumon Digivolution Line video. I am guessing that research is still required to know how TRICERAMON truly lived as a rookie, or as far as I can imagine, if it ever existed as a rookie. I like the emphasis on ProCeramon's defense because, as I will explain a bit later, TRICERAMON does look to be a very solid Digimon for a reason. So I have to say that, aside of the colors and the eyelids, the choice of the dinosaur is certainly a good one, especially when you consider the little horn on its nose, which is certainly a nice reference to its ultimate form. The champion, according to fanbase, should simply be called TRICERAMON champion form, a version of the TRICERAMON we know but who is still quadrupedal. As a champion Digimon, obviously it is a weaker version of the ultimate form. I just noticed that in appearance it does look a lot like Monochromon, a Digimon that has yet to be explored and a fellow rival to TRICERAMON champion form. Another rival would, by the way, be the ferocious Tyrannomon and other dinosaur Digimon. So there is basically this great dinosaur rivalry for supremacy. I think that this concept, by the way, is very interesting and should certainly be explored, because when we talk about dinosaurs, this should also include Ankylomon and Greymon. And I think that all those dinosaur Digimon really look very strong for entities that are in their mere champion level. I would love to compare all of them in a future video. The ultimate form is the TRICERAMON we all know, a Digimon who has the same size as Greymon, meaning that it is approximately 15 to 20 meters tall. That is the equivalent of 49.2 to 65.6 feet. A Digimon with such a height, I cannot even imagine how humans would start defending themselves against it, especially when you realize that the Digimon can use projectiles to hit targets who are a bit more distanced. TRICERAMON is a Digimon derived from the Triceratops horridus, a specific type of dinosaur among the Triceratops that was about 8 to 9 meters long. TRICERAMON is about double its height, so it's quite an improvement. The Digimon in its core has an interesting combination of belonging to the Nature Spirits family. Members of this field are generally animal-like Digimon. It also belongs to the Dragon's Roar family, whose members are generally draconic Digimon. But again, do not forget, TRICERAMON is not a dragon but instead a dinosaur. Both dinosaurs and dragons can easily be mixed up, but I cannot really blame anyone. In the end, both dinosaurs and dragons usually are depicted to have pretty similar features. To finish, and to my surprise, TRICERAMON belongs to the Nightmare Soldiers family. Members of this field are usually demonic Digimon. This is really a big surprise to me because it is said that TRICERAMON has a gentle nature. It is not the type to be very aggressive at the moment it sees another Digimon. The truth is, with its terrifying height, that alone should work as a deterrent to scare or intimidate possible foes. On top of that, TRICERAMON is a herbivore and does not consume flesh. But pay attention, it has power competing with the strongest of herbivores dinosaur type, meaning that this one can truly break challenging Digimon. It is said that the toughness of its skin is top class among organic type Digimon and has 2 ultra hard horns which are more solid than Monochromon. And you have to know that Monochromon has this hard substance covering its body, which is as hard as diamond. And diamond is the strongest mineral, meaning that it can withstand about anything. It can only be scratched by yet another diamond. This sounds like the Hanglung ore metal, which I briefly discussed in an episode of the DigiNews, where I explored a possible consequence if humans were to ever find such a precious metal. I will make sure to link that episode in the description box. TRICERAMON is a Digimon that excels offensively as defensively, even though it has sluggish movements. But its power is enough to destroy even the sturdy bodies of mineral Digimon. Obviously with the exception of Hanglungmon, a member of the Digimon Sovereign who has this body covered with the mineral Hanglung ore, boasting absolute hardness, making it impossible to really harm it. That's probably the reason why Hanglungmon was sealed, because in the end, if you cannot harm it, why not just seal it? Speaking of the Digimon Sovereign, to my surprise, TRICERAMON's Mega Digivolution is none other than another member of the Digimon Sovereign, a holy dragon named Azulongmon, a Digimon reference to the dragon Qinglong, or otherwise known as the Azure Dragon of the East, one of the dragon gods representing subterranean forces of the 5 forms of the highest deity. Who that supreme deity may be, we'll make sure to discuss it in the Mythological Conversation series, a series of episodes where we explore all mythological entities who formed the fundamental basis for the design of certain Digimon. Azulongmon is also counted as one of the 4 great dragons, which include Megidramon, who we discussed in the Explaining Guilmon Digivolution line episode, Goldramon, a great dragon who has yet to be explored, Magnadramon, who we discussed in Explaining Gatomon Digivolution line episode, and Azulongmon. The big difference among the 4 is that Azulongmon is the most deified existence in the group. Maybe to spark your interest for future videos, these 4 dragons together have a specific type of training to help the one who trains to achieve a certain form. We will talk about it in details in another video. And by the way, another thing to spark your interest, how powerful are these 4 great dragons? Do they rival the Bansho team? Would they obliterate the D-brigade? Can they be compared to the Olympus 12? These are all subjects that we'll discuss here in Nostalgia 9 to 5. As a Digimon Sovereign, Azulongmon is guarding the east and commands 3 Deva, Mihiramon, Antilamon, and Majiramon. The Deva are a group of 12 ultimate level holy beast Digimon derived from Buddhist mythology. Yes, at some point you will all have to realize that Digimon has its inspiration coming from so much. We're going to make sure to explore all of them, if not most of them. Just like some other members of the 4 dragons, you can't really consider Azulongmon to have this good alignment. It is the type of Digimon that will not easily cooperate with either humans or creatures it deems weak. In fact, it is likely that it won't even lend help to its allies unless there is something it considers to be serious. And this is what I like about those Holy Dragon Digimon, or even with those godlike Digimon, like the Olympus 12. It is not because they are considered to be close to godlike entities that they will or should intervene in the affairs of creatures that might be deemed beneath their greatness. This concept gives them so much personality. Now, to conclude the TRICERAMON line, I'd like to stop by one of Azulongmon's attacks. You see, the Digimon is a bit like the god Zeus in Greek mythology. It releases intense lightning strikes. It has an attack called Raijin no Mai, meaning Dance of the Raijin. Raijin is a god of lightning in Japanese mythology. Again, a very nice reference of a mythological being that we will certainly have to explore in the Mythological Conversation series if you want to truly understand the depth of Digimon. I hope you guys will be there among us. Hey guys, this is the end of the video, but I want to take yet again a few minutes of your time to clarify a few things. You see, in this video I did talk about TRICERAMON and Azulongmon's biography, but don't think for a second that we are done talking about them. This is me merely talking about their biography and merely hinting to their actual story in the anime or the manga. I will certainly discuss their respective stories. That way we will get an even better image of those Digimon and know more of what they actually did or to what they contributed to the overall narrative. And I'll do the same with the partner Digimon in season 1 and the other seasons. Once I'll start with one of those videos, you'll quickly come to understand what I mean at this point. I also want to tell you that if you love mythology, make sure to subscribe and take your time to enjoy the mythological playlist. I briefly explained what the sub-series is all about. We talk about the mythological creatures who influenced specific Digimon. Another thing I want to add, in the Digimon universe there are a lot of powerful weapons and armor and artifacts that are certainly very interesting to discuss. I'll make sure to explore them too, along with the attacks of certain Digimon, like I once did in the Explaining TERRA Force episode where I explained how powerful that attack truly is. So when I am telling you guys that I will make sure to give Digimon the proper attention it deserves, I promise you I will dedicate a lot of my time to explore and unveil piece by piece the Digimon universe. I really hope you guys will be there with me, with us, considering that I heavily rely on your knowledge and your theories, which I feel is going to push us closer and closer to something big. Make sure to subscribe and show your support with likes and comments and by checking the constantly updated Digimon playlists. And speaking of support, Marine Solar, again, a big thank you for supporting me on Patreon. I'm still beyond words and extremely grateful. I'll do my best to not disappoint you and the others who support me on that platform. Again, a big thank you.